So you're buying a house, or maybe you're wanting to buy a house in the Roseburg area. Maybe it's in the near future for you. You're kind of preparing. The experience, just going to tell you, can sometimes come with a little stress, can even be a little frustrating at times, not going to lie, especially if you're rushed into the process unprepared. And there are definitely some common mistakes that I've seen buyers make over the years, things that if you're in the market, you should avoid. That is, if you're looking to buy a house and you'd rather have a smooth, fun, exciting process rather than a stress-filled journey full of hassles and frustration. Kind of a no-brainer. So here's a list of the 9 things that I just came up with thinking through my career over the past 28 years or so that I've seen buyers do. Number 1 is getting pre-approved for a mortgage. You probably heard people talk about the importance of being pre-qualified for a mortgage, which is true. A pre-qualification, though, is usually done over the phone, and it's based on what you tell the lender. A pre-approval is one step further because you actually provide some documentation to the lender. The lender knows your credit profile now. They know they have verified your income, debt, assets, all the stuff that you would tell them over the phone. They now verify and give you a real solid pre-approval. Definitely a more solid place to be when you make an offer on a house, and definitely going to put you a step above somebody that may have a comparable offer on a competing deal. If you're competing for the same house, one has a pre-qualification letter, one has a pre-approval, you're going to look much, much better having the pre-approval letter. The second mistake I see a lot of buyers make is underestimating the cost of buying a home. This is where communication with your lender and your agent are really important. Common costs that might surprise you at closing are things like title company fees, lender fees, closing costs, required prepayment items like property taxes, homeowners insurance, HOA fees if you're maybe buying a home in a neighborhood that might have an association. But there are low and no cost mortgage options available. If you're interested in learning more about that, just shoot me a direct message. Number 3, for sure, is not doing enough research to really understand the condition of the market, the trends, the neighborhood information, school data, local amenities, things like that. Make sure you take some time and do your due diligence. Ask your agent. This is what they're there for, to ensure that you're buying not just the right house because it's pretty and you like the floor plan, but that the whole thing fits for you, the neighborhood, the location, the schools, all those different things that you should take into consideration. Number 4 might not sound like a mistake, but it's falling in love with the house. Now, just hear me out. I know you might be thinking, I better love the house or I'm not going to buy it. And that's true. You should love the house that you buy. That's not really what I'm talking about here. The thing is, it's easy to fall in love with a house. You got to understand, buying a house is always an emotional process, and it's just important to keep your emotions in check and look at other things: practicality, location, size, cost, upkeep of the house, condition, all those kind of things as well. Number 5 is a big one because we've seen some of this, and that is skipping the home inspection. In an ultra competitive market like we've been in, we see buyers doing all kinds of crazy things like waiving the home inspection, waiving the appraisal contingency even. I understand that in certain circumstances, like multiple offer situations, you want to make the cleanest, most compelling offer as possible, but I would never recommend waiving something as important as a home inspection. That's not to say that I haven't written offers where buyers choose to do so, but it's at their own discretion and against my recommendation. So always get a home inspection. Just do it. It's going to pay off and could save you a lot of money in the future. Number 6 is the mistake of not considering the future real estate value of your property. You might love the house today, but in 5 or 10 years, it may not be the perfect place for you. The thing is, life happens, kids move out, go to college, just things happen. And when that does happen, needs change. So before buying a house, consider the area, size, the floor plan. Is it 1 level, 2 level, the condition of the property, the upkeep, all those kind of things to understand what the future value might look like down the road. A good real estate broker should be able to help you with some of this kind of stuff. Now, to give you an example, kind of what I'm talking about is, does it have an upstairs master bedroom? That might work great for some people, but for some people, it may not work great. Are all the bedrooms in a daylight basement or on a different level of the house? That might work great for some people, but not for others. So think about future saleability before you go out and make a purchase. Number 7 is a big one because you're making a big purchase, right? And that is the mistake of not understanding what you're signing, not understanding the contract. It's amazing how many people make the mistake of just not understanding what they're signing when they're buying a house. They just point and click on all the yellow boxes through their DocuSign document without asking their real estate agent what it means or to explain anything to them. That's just not a great plan when you're buying a house. Please ask questions. Number 8 is also a big one because it comes down to dollars and cents, and that is bad or unskilled negotiation, either yourself if you're dealing yourself or your agent. It may shock you, but not everyone is a good skilled negotiator. Just because someone has a real estate license doesn't automatically make them a good negotiator either. One of the big problems I see in this industry these days is the lack of skill and the lack of training when it comes to negotiation. With such a large transaction like buying a house, it's just so important. It just makes sense to work with somebody who has negotiation skills that can get you the best possible deal on the house if you're buying or when you're selling to get you the most money possible. And number 9 is just not working with an experienced real estate broker. You know, when the market goes up, you have a lot of people jump into real estate, the market starts cooling off, a lot of people jump out. But a really great real estate broker will be able to help you through all these things that I've been talking about today and walk you through the whole process, one step at a time, keeping you informed. A really great real estate broker won't have to brag on themselves about how good they are and how great they are and how good they look in their car. They should have a long list of happy clients that have good testimonials that speak for themselves. So buying a home is just a complex process and there's a lot of moving parts, but there's no reason to go it alone. Avoiding common mistakes like these that I'm sharing with you today can just make your home buying process much more smooth and much more enjoyable. That's really what my team is all about. So how can we help? Are you buying a house? Are you in the market to sell a house? Shoot me a direct message. I'd love to know how we might be able to help.